if I say no, it's because I didn't bring my hearings.
Oh, you're like,
One of them's not working anyways. Pain in the butt. Give me one of those horns like they used to.
if I have one at Main Street,
See Jason
Let's-
or
Vista
CTLTAB.
Works is first one.
Jason, can you hear us?
I can.
Okay.
All right, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Can we get the roll call?
Court,
Here.
Miller, Ryan,
Here.
Decker,
Here.
He's there.
Kozowitz.
Here.
All right, approval of the agenda. Anybody have anything they would like to talk about on the agenda for today? Next, we'll go with that. No changes. I'll take a motion to approve.
Motion to approve today's agenda.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Marty did print out the minutes from the last meeting. Next is the approval of the minutes. If you'd like to take a moment to look over that.
We need a budget meeting.
No, I just had to darken the density of the printer.
It's small,
Sorry, and it is small.
but it was a lot. It was a lot. Anybody have any changes to the minutes from the last meeting?
No.
Okay, I'll take a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion to approve the February 13th minutes.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right, first old business, updates from Vista Works. Hi, Lindsay.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good.
Yeah, good.
Hey?
Yep, we're good.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna share my. Okay.
Lindsay, you're breaking up.
And share is too small.
There's not an actual fire.
I think that's the garage.
Oh, is it?
It's the garage.
It's the fire alarm would be loud.
I'm gonna jump the other level. Okay. Can everyone hear me okay?
It seems like
Yes.
right now, yeah.
Yes.
Can you all hear me okay?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay, well, welcome. I like this new time. Thank you everyone for switching to the day. I appreciate it. As I've shown you before, I have a meeting deck that I go over with Marty every 2 weeks, like a scheduled meeting where we go over things that we've done, what's in progress, what needs to get done. That takes about an hour and a half to go through in its entirety, so I'm not going to go through it in the whole thing in detail with this group, but I'll share it with the group, so anyone who wants to see it, spend some time in it, they can do that. But Marty and I did identify a few things that we talked about yesterday in our meeting that would be great to bring up in today's Logic Task Forward meeting. So the first thing I wanted to bring up is the website. So currently, it sounds like we're going to stick with the current Visit Trinidad, Colorado website rather than work with the one that Anissa was working on. With that decision being made, what my team is now going to do is going to add some code to that website so that we can start recording data in GA4, which is Google Analytics 4. I don't know how many people are familiar with Google Analytics and some of the recent changes that have gone on, but Google Analytics is the platform that we use to measure all traffic to the website. We can see where traffic is coming from. It helps us measure campaign effectiveness. There are loads of different metrics that we use. The most significant ones are users, engagement rates, sessions. We can also measure conversions in there. With DMO sites, we're not typically selling anything, so conversions are, they're not as subjective as say like an e-commerce website might have. But what we like to do is set up some kind of engagement type conversion. So we'll likely set up one where someone spends more than 2 minutes on the website, which is quite a long time to stay on the website these days. We consider that a conversion. If we put the visitor's guide request on the website, once it's complete, or a visitor's guide download, those will act as conversions as well. So we're currently, I just assigned that to my tech director today after getting word yesterday that that's the site that we're going to use. And then, as for our budget, tomorrow launches your paid Meta and your paid Google Ads program. There will be a couple weeks of onboarding where we're setting up the accounts, we're setting up the campaigns, but hopefully by middle end of the month, we have some ads up and running. So again, that's where that analytics report really comes into play. We can see how effective those are. Your ads team will also provide monthly reports. Those reports are less data focused because we're getting the data out of Google Analytics, and but they'll be more content based. What they're noticing, what they're changing, what they're working on. It gives us a really good overview of what they're seeing and the work they're doing. So lots of things are moving and shaping in that world. Does anybody have any questions about that before I move on?
Yeah, I was curious what you'll be. Go ahead, Jason.
I was just gonna say, why do we elect to not launch the new website?
Why didn't we launch the new website?
Because Anissa hasn't communicated exactly where she is with that, and she has not shared the login information with Destination IQ or myself. And I don't know where we're going with that, given some things that have taken place with staffing right now. I'm not at liberty to share exactly what's going on, Jason, but I will update the board shortly on some changes that might be coming, but it doesn't look like we're going to be moving forward with the new website at all. I've spoken to DIQ about just redoing or updating the current website. That looks like the direction we're going to have to go.
The visit Trinidad.
Yeah, for visit.
So thanks for the update. A couple of ideas here. One is, if anybody on the board wants to look over the current website and request any sort of changes, additions, please hand those over to me. I could even start a document where it's, if there are enough people that want to do that, we can get everything into a single document, and then we can review that from the Destination IQ side and assess what that workload is and how we tackle that. Another item that we can discuss, and I may be getting a little bit ahead of myself, but there is the CTO grant, marketing match grant, that comes up. The application due end of summer, early fall, I think. Forgive me, I don't know off the top of my head. But website redesigns are perfectly applicable for that grant. And I see a few things that the board could apply for. A really kind of stellar website redesign is one option. We could apply for some branding if we want to talk about branding the tourism department, media, growing media library. There are quite a few things, but that's something to keep in the back of your mind. We give a few months to decide, but that is an option. Yeah, so we've designed quite a few websites using that grant, so it's a good one. They like that.
Okay, yeah, I think we should definitely look at what we could do temporarily at least. Frankly, I think it's not a good representation of Trinidad, and it's quite slow and not mobile friendly, so I would love to just have a better face for our summer visitors.
What I'll do after this meeting is I will, I'm gonna share this deck to the group, but I'll add a link to a document where everybody can have access to it and they can just start throwing in the things that they see on the website. So it's all in one place.
I
Okay.
think I have an audit I did on it about a year ago that I can share.
Okay, that would be great.
Trinidad, do you mind pushing down your camera a little bit? I'm just seeing like the very tip top of your head. Sorry.
I don't know how it does
It's
that.
the owl.
That's the owl, dude. It does its own thing.
The owl's
I've
been
never seen
drinking.
it.
It was doing fine earlier.
Well, we weren't screen sharing either, so.
We can get phone books.
Well, if that's what it is, then that's fine. I've just never seen you do that before. No
Yeah.
worries.
Okay. I won't dig too deep into your implications there. Marty will wait for more news on it. You know, I'll just say if Anissa's on her way out, it would be awesome if she could just hand over the keys, and hopefully she's not going to be petty about it, because that thing is like 90% done. So that'll be extremely frustrating if that's how that shakes out. My unrelated question to the website was, do you guys have ideas for what you're launching with on the paid digital ads in terms of what's being promoted? Like, are they just generic Visit Trinidad, Colorado ads, or are they focused on a specific area?
That's a good question. So we're launching ads through Google search ads, and then we're doing Meta ads, which are Facebook and Instagram ads. The Facebook and Instagram ads will be more general, and it's going to be it's going to use the media library that we currently have, and as we increase and improve our media library, we'll update those ads. The ad team will also experiment with different imagery, footage, copy, but generally for Meta and Instagram, they're going to be more general. Come to Trinidad, Trinidad's awesome, and this is why. And it can show the architecture, the outdoors, the events. Very broad. What's nice about Google search is that it can be very specific. So the way Google search works, and forgive me for those of you who know it, and I'm being repetitive, is it uses keyword searches to trigger ads. So if you can imagine you're on Google and you're searching for something specific, let's say you're looking for gravel biking in Colorado, and then a sponsored ad, a copy shows up on the top of the page. There are 2 or 3 of them up there. Those are the Google search ads that we're going to be running. What's nice about that is those can be highly targeted. So we'll likely have campaigns that are focused on points of interest, campaigns that are focused on the outdoors, and then within that there are individual ad groups. So there may be an ad group for each museum, or there may be an ad group for each type of outdoor activity. Some of those will perform very well if they're specific. So your museums will perform well because someone's going to search for that name of that museum and your ad will pop up on the top. And it will likely have a high click-through rate. The topics that are harder to get very good traffic with are the broader terms like hiking in Colorado, or where do I go camping in Colorado, because you have a lot of competition. So we'll play. There's more of a learning curve with Google search. You have to just experiment with a lot of different keywords and ad groups and ads, and then start to decide, okay, well, do we want to really just get as many people on the website as possible using these highly specific terms like the Mitchell Museum or Space to Breathe, or do we try to reach a broader audience, people that don't know that Trinidad has excellent camping opportunities, and try to reach that maybe higher cost audience. So it's more, Google is a game and it takes a little while to load it, but what's nice about it is that you get immediate traffic. And it's for the most part, if you're not going for those super broad terms, it's low cost traffic. And again, because we'll have GA4 set up, we'll get to see which of those campaigns have increased engagement on the website, which one are really about people who like to stay on the website and explore. It's very hard to follow the funnel all the way to visitation. So engagement on our website is one of the better ways to measure effectiveness.
Just tell them our week's better than Mexico.
Cool.
Did that answer your question? I think I just went way off on it.
No, that's okay. I think the context is probably useful for some folks. Again, I was just curious, what kind of ad groups you might be going in on to launch with. So obviously you'll be refining and experimenting. But that answers my question, yeah.
Did you, Jason, have some things prepared to go? We know it was all delayed and messed up. Some, videos or promotions or specific groups.
I don't think so.
That's too bad. Like that.
Okay.
So the other item that I wanted to bring up to the board, and forgive me, I don't think we talked about it last time, is we have this social promotion schedule. So your organic social media team launches tomorrow. So like your ads team, there'll be a little bit of onboarding. Marty and I have done a lot of pre-onboarding together to try to expedite that process. But with the social promotion schedule that she shared via email, the goal is that it gives the board, your group, an opportunity to buy in and suggest what sort of topic shared on social. And not just what type of topics, but also if you had any media associated with the topic at hand. So say you want to promote a hiking trail, or it's hiking in general, and you have a ton of great hiking, of you hiking with your family or your friends, the more media that we have, the more engagement one that post will get, and the more likely it is that we'll use that topic. Our goal is to get so many suggestions that we can pick and choose which ones have the strongest media presence that will create the best post. We also have the tourism marketing request form is live now on the current website. And once we get that out to the community, our hope is that other community members outside of the group will also lend suggestions. They might say, we have this great program we want to promote, we have this great event we want to promote, here are photos, here's footage. That will help us flesh out those social media posts, and then also provides buy-in from the community as well, and shows that person. And I can talk a little bit more about that form. I think Marty, you showed it kind of as a printout at a recent meeting. So it's now a live form, it's a digital form on the Visit Trinidad, Colorado website. You can find it under contact on the menu. There's a drop down for tourism marketing requests. We have this really fantastic opportunity right now. So Marty is engaged in a destination footprint program, which is a Colorado tourism office program that she applied to and won a spot in. And we've been assigned one of their kind of contract tourism directors. Her name is Beth Wright, and I think a lot of you have met her already. After meeting with the community and working with us, she identified tasks that needed to get done, and what was great is that we were already planning, the destination MFP was already planning on doing those tasks. when we were planning out our budget. So we were able to divide and conquer. So she's gonna spend her 100 hours of consultation, engage with the community, and really getting this word out that we're here to support them and giving them avenues to ask for the support. So, you know, in the work that I've done, we've set up things for the community to participate in, but the gap has always been getting into the community and getting them engaged and aware of what's available. And we have Beth now, and that's her job. That's what she's gonna be focused on. So I believe she'll come to Trinidad and host some in-person events. She'll talk about how to reach out to people digitally, how to use social media to reach out to people. So our goal is really to get this opportunity out to the community, make them aware that we're there. We're here to. Part of this form is, as I mentioned with the social media promotion, is, you know, give us as much media as you have. The more media you give us and the more information you give us about what you have to promote, the more we can do for you. So the plan is that if a request comes in, we'll evaluate it. We can craft a kind of like a micro marketing plan, if you will. And it may be, hey, we're gonna put a post on organic Facebook for you, and we'll get an event listing on the website and on the Colorado tourism site. But if it's a huge event and it has great following and tons of media, we'll say, you know what, this warrants a press release. We can write you a press release. We can write a blog for the website. So we'll create small individual marketing plans for each request as they come in. If it's a request that's not tourism related and they don't have to give us information, like we may say, hey, you know, thanks for sharing this with us, but this isn't appropriate for tourism. Thank you. So, you know, it can be nothing to a lot depending on what information is given to us, how much media is given to us, what it can do for the community. And and so Beth's job is going to be sharing all of this opportunity with all the stakeholders in Trinidad, outside of your lodging passport.
Cool.
Any questions? Any questions on the social media document or the marketing request?
You gotta share that document out. You didn't already.
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did the printed version of the last meeting.
That's the request form.
That's the request form.
I'm talking about wherever we should be dropping suggestions or reviewing things.
Oh,
or
and Lindsay's
social
gonna send that.
media. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll keep my eyes peeled for that.
Yeah.
I think we also have that on our new business for today's meeting as well. So.
Yes.
And when I share this deck, this is always great reference. Anytime you have a question or you're like, I don't know where this link is, I put everything in this deck every 2 weeks. So I have to update the link before I send it off, but you can reference this deck and you'll find it. You'll find a link to the social promotion schedule, you'll find a link to the marketing request form. So this is kind of our like Bible, if you will. Like everything that Destination IQ is doing is in this deck, and I provide links to documents, links to websites, like everything is here. So it's a great thing to bookmark.
And you don't share those slides, right? Those we don't. Oh, no. These will be shared with you.
Yeah, we got this deck and they just keep adding to it.
Yeah,
So
we just
definitely bookmark that one, check it out every so
Yeah,
often.
I was gonna ask you in the presentation, but just because I can't even read that part, but.
We've got links to that.
We should have that in here.
I'm used to not because I tend to write in, but I can certainly put it into presentation mode.
Oh, no, if we're gonna get it anyway, I can look at it. I was just squinting.
So those were the bigger items that I wanted to touch base on. The last item I want to mention is that Brian and I will come to Trinidad in April for an immersion trip. We'll be there all day on April 17th and 18th. That's a Wednesday and a Thursday. Typically with our immersion trips, actually, I don't wanna say typically, there's no typical form for our immersion trips, it really depends on the community. But we do love to meet with stakeholders, we love to meet with your whole group. If there's anybody else in the city that you feel that we should meet with, we would love to. It can be in the evening, it can be over lunch, it can be one-on-one, is fine. We also like to go explore and see, really what's special about the city, whatever sort of attractions that you want us to see, businesses you want us to visit, organizations, any organization leaders that you want us to talk to. It's really up to us, it's really up to you and what you feel would be worth us seeing and who you want us to talk to while we're there. So I'll leave the formation of that itinerary in Marty's hands, and Marty, if the group wants to let you know anything that they think is important, I'll have them do that.
Okay, thank you.
So, and then the rest of this deck, I'll send it, and you'll see, all of the little things we're doing, the ads we're creating, the content we're writing, it's all in here. We're in touch with Jeff Montoya for the video project. We have the city now signed up for Tour Colorado, Destination Colorado, which are the bus tour and the convention center promotion program. So all of that is moving along.
Thank you. Any questions on this update?
Good stuff, excited to see the ads and social media teams getting traction.
I do have a question.
Yeah,
Lindsay.
doing a lot. There's a lot moving and shaking in the background.
Given the status of our communications coordinator, and if we don't fill that position, I've been making posts on our Visit Trinidad Colorado Facebook page. Can this work step up a little bit, and maybe if I help out sending information to you, can you kind of pick up that ball and run with it?
Yeah, I think it will be a combination of your organic social team, which again, they officially start tomorrow as long as the contract actually starts.
Yeah,
But if there are additional things that we just want to share outside of their schedule, I'll have you connect with Kirsten. Kirsten will be our girl to do that for you.
So we might make Kirsten admin alongside of me, so that we have two admins on there.
I think she might already have it, Marty.
Okay.
Because she worked with
Anissa?
Anissa when we first came on board.
Okay.
And had got access to everything. And then she had one other question for you that just came up for getting the ads team connected, and she was gonna reach out to you directly. She just got back in office after vacation yesterday, so I think she's doing a lot of catch up.
Okay,
But you'll likely hear from her.
thank you.
If that's true about Anissa, then we have two positions that are semi-related to tourism that are open.
Communications coordinator, so as that coordinator, then she usually posts the Visit Trinidad Colorado website.
And then we have the other one that we approved, that I don't know what that is.
It's not,
No.
Well, but I mean, it's there. We approved it, it just didn't happen.
It's not going to happen. That was contingent on the lodging tax being increased.
But maybe we can redesign or get Steve to redesign that job description. Decent job to include that stuff and give them a full-time job,
Well, that would be great with this.
So,
I got other things and.
Thank you.
All right, Lindsay, I think that's it. Do you have anything else for us?
She might have some input on some of the other,
Oh,
I know she's down at the bottom, track organic social media.
all right, okay.
posts.
Sorry, I wasn't
Sorry.
dismissing you.
No. This next item actually, we're gonna have some input too. Marketing budget for funding requests from $9,000 miscellaneous budget line item. I think this is, where we had some requests for marketing, and we had said that we wanted to maybe set a cap on spending for projects. Joe, do you remember,
I can-
projects?
Let's see, quick last 6 minutes.
Maybe Lindsay,
So just as a kind,
Yeah.
just as a kind reminder, we had around 9,000, reserved for miscellaneous kind of lodging board decisions. 3,000 of that is now allotted towards the agritorial with the gravel cycling folks. So now we have 6.
Yeah.
Now, real quick, in this deck, on the top page, you'll see a link to your budget. I'm gonna keep that updated, so, you'll know if I take anything out of that kind of bucket. But it's a big reference, you're like, what are we spending? Ad buys, what are we spending on the organizations meeting? You'll have a reference in the deck, and you can see. So, I've already, taken that 3,000 out for the travel events for folks.
It's in the packet, Marty, gave us
Yep. Cool. Thank you for that. I think it was, we started talking about this, I don't know how far we went, but we discussed potentially pulling from the CTO ad buy. Mostly, I think we recognize that this bucket of 9K could go very quickly because a lot of things could fall under it in terms of advertising. Things like the Weekender, which is on today's agenda as well, that would come right out of this budget right away. So we could blow through it in the first half of the year very easily. So I think we may or may not need to take action right now because we're not committed to that 15K with CTO yet. So we could always revisit it later, say, hey, we maybe don't want to buy that ad, we'd rather spend it on X, Y, Z. That is interesting in the interim.
Yeah, I agree, there's no need to get in a hurry.
So
I don't know.
any other requests?
I don't know if we had any other requests, that were kind of touch on that budget.
I think one of our other line items,
We may have to turn that thing on and back off and back on.
Reboot.
I think it was just the Weekender.
Yep, and that's on the other line item.
There you go.
Would anybody have objections to combining some of these line items? For example, D, Weekender advertising update, and E, Visit Trinidad website update. I think we just did the Visit Trinidad website update, so we could probably say that is done, right? Does anybody have any objections to that?
No.
Do we need to vote on that, Marty?
No.
Okay, so that one would be, we've already discussed. In this marketing budget for funding requests, let's talk about the Weekender. Did we ever get anything back?
So I was just looking for that email. So I communicated your decision or your recommendation on reducing that cost, and Mr. Howland was not happy about that. He said that he was going to pull his request and address it from a chamber perspective. And what does that mean? He was not, let me find the email. He was not happy that we were not going to do the full $3,000. So I asked him if there were other options. That was what was recommended. So maybe doing smaller ad or not as many ads in a month, and maybe doing one per month. And so he communicated with me and Karen and Steve Ruger, saying that he thought that the lodging tax board was not representing the community.
Wow.
In a way that he felt it should be done. And so he was going to request a meeting with Steve and with the mayor, and find out if he could have a place at the table regarding the budget that is being used by the lodging tax board.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
It is.
Yeah, it is
Um,
unfortunate.
it is.
We
Now it's
only
like,
have $9,000 in this budget, and that's a full third for something that is really only published within driving distance of Trinidad.
Well,
Unfortunately, I hate that that has turned out that way.
because we were
Yeah.
supporting him because it was him, it was special, we felt like there was a reason. Now he's,
right,
in
when I
my
explained
mind,
to
he's
him,
totally destroyed my desire to help out.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I won't hold it against him. If he comes back with something, I'm not gonna say we're never ever gonna do anything.
Well,
like
not
that.
either, but still.
But, I hope that he reconsiders and does come back with something more along the lines of the budget that we were requesting. And then we'll be more than happy to assist and put an ad into.
Someone could write that to him.
Turning his nose up at revenue, I mean, like, yeah, it's reduced, but we were still willing to buy some things.
and I explained to him that that was, the board wanted to support the local media, just not at that amount because the budget was limited. And he
It's
said,
very
"Like it."
limited. That's all.
That's very
If he
unfortunate.
wants to see at the table, he could, run for the board.
They'll be accepting applications in there.
There you go.
Um,
Alright. How far it is.
Okay, well, I guess we can move on.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah,
alright.
so we jumped in
Next.
there, which is fine, but yeah. Thank you for.
Were there any other things that were included in this budget line that we need to talk about?
Well, was that where we were gonna talk about radio with it, gave up, or is that
Um,
something else?
Didn't we have radio funded from somewhere already?
Yes, that was approved.
Yes.
Goes through
That
June,
was recommended and approved
and to extend on the last half of the year
until June of next year.
until,
Just
Annual
2025.
contract, June to July.
and you're talking about June of 25?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then it's taken
And,
care
and Destination IQ has been working with Rick at the radio station to develop ads. So it's like they are pulling information from the Facebook page or website, things going on in the community, doing some heavy duty research to find out exactly what we should put into those ads. And you're always welcome to, make recommendations. I think what we focused on was the synagogues, celebration
That's
to
neat.
designate the spot as a national, landmark. The other one was the St. Patrick's Day Parade, and then we're getting to, there's another event that's coming up that, Shannon Miller put together for the Crossroads Turning Points. It's a color run, an Easter egg hunt, and some other things. So that was the other thing that I saw. They look at the events calendar on our Facebook page and are pulling from that.
Will they use it for 420 festival too?
And 420, we're gonna start promoting 420, the Huff and Puff, and the Pony Express, which all take place on that weekend. So that will be the next blast they do for the radio.
When you do talk to her, this is from experience, the reason that I do the audio on these spots and those is if you can overuse
Right,
the in-house announcers. And so
Right.
if they don't have somebody to use up there, I'm more than willing to do them again, no
Okay.
charge. But, don't just hand it to them, and say, y'all cut it, because it's the same.
no, DIQ is handling all that.
Okay.
So they're on board with all that. They have a professional, I don't know who's recording the scripts or
And
developing the
that's fine, as
scripts.
long as it's something different, and, if they're having to pay them, consider, I don't charge, but.
Right, yeah, okay, I keep that in mind.
Nice. Okay, anything else for this subject? I don't think we have anything else right now. All right, there's no vote needed.
Just found it, sharing that.
Oof. Okay. Budget line item discussion. I know Steve was not able to make it.
He's currently still on a phone call.
So,
So in your packet, I put the actual tourism fund. So I included the revenues, expenditures, and fund balance. I included the expense descriptions for the welcome center, the tourism line, and the trolley. So you have the entire tourism budget in front of you. What you'll be looking at specifically is is 4,800, which is just specifically tourism. So those are the items that are lined out in there. Recreation facilities programs, 150,000, space to create, 25,000. Your local festival funding is another that you can have some input on. That's the 50,000. And then the advertising and publications piece is the other budget from DIQ that you have in front of you. The other line items, kiosks and wayfinding signage, there's 16,000 there. But that's pretty much everything else is not something that we can use. So advertising and publications is set.
yes,
Local festival funding is right now, we took out 5,000 for Main Street Live. So that's now 45,000. Then we took 5,000 out for the A.R. Mitchell Museum. So that reduces.
I thought those were going to be on the community support, not festival funding.
Those come out of arts and culture. That's how you had it written in there.
Yeah, well, so there's two line items under arts and culture. One of them is programming, one of them is festivals. So the grand total is 50K and it's 25 between those two. So that's all been done appropriately.
Oh, okay.
And then there was $1,500 that came out for triggers.
out of the 50,000.
Yes. So a total of 11,500. Is that right?
11,500.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So have we taken, marketing, our kiosk and wayfinding signage is still at 16, did we do anything with that? No. Okay, is that what we're gonna use to, pull those old signs out of storage and put them up, or are we gonna try to get, new signs on
I don't know what the plan is to do with those signs. I think that's a steep question.
Yeah. How about wrapping with the kiosk, how much is that?
That I believe is, I think it's $3,000 for a year. It's a lot. And the discussion is that outdoor recreation would go away off of those two kiosks, and that it would be City of Trinidad specific. Because we can't find sponsors. The community has the opportunity to sponsor those kiosks. They don't want to take advantage of it because of the cost.
It's a city property.
Well, anybody the contract is written where any advertiser can use those kiosks to advertise on. Cannabis?
Do we have any kind of showing on those kiosks at all?
Yeah. So it's connected to the Facebook page. It's also connected to the website calendar of events. And then the community is, everybody's aware, there's also a poster, a static poster that anybody can send to me and I can post to the kiosk. So.
Right, but do we have any data, like how many people are using the kiosk? So we can see if it's.
Some analytics, I can pull up the traffic count on it and get that to you.
That would be helpful.
Okay.
Recreational facilities and programs at 150. Haven't put anything on that yet.
I'm sorry, what was
Yeah,
that?
that one is interesting. I don't know.
Recreational facilities and programs.
Yeah, the recreation facilities and programs. I don't know how much review we have over as a board, I mean, this whole line of discussion does feel like something that would be helpful to have Steve around for, because I imagine that he has designs on some of this money already. So, I mean, we could kind of throw a few things out on the table as recommendations, or, you know, be thinking about them. This is something that might be kind of an evergreen old business topic for us for a little while. Obviously, we want to spend this money this year, and we're kind of plowing through Q1, so if we gotta get some projects set for it, so they can start happening.
So for the purpose of this meeting, this line item, let's just see if we can clarify what they mean. So like, if we're gonna say a recreational facilities and program budget, what would that include? I assume it would include, could it be like money we could give to Parks and Rec to finish a part of their trail?
So how that'll work, Parks and Rec will come to the Lodging Tax Advisory Board and I guess make a request, say this is what we're interested in. So this is a communication from other boards and from the city to basically expend this line.
Could we make recommendations though? So like, I know, for example, Trinidad Trails just won grants for trail planning at the wormhole. That will only be planning. So could I be like, hey, you guys should take $25K out of here and put it towards trail construction, just as an example. And then if they want to, that's great. If they don't, so be it. But just like make some recommendations to be like, here's some things that we would.
I'm wondering the best process of that would be to take that to Parks and Rec Board and have them ask for the
Sure.
funding.
Yeah.
We, at the last meeting when we discussed, that we were going to discuss this, we requested that Steve be here because we knew he would have to clarify some things.
Right.
We need to make a formal request that he sit down with us, tell us what the hell he's thinking about, so we can keep up with it.
He sent the agenda, he's invited to the board meetings. If something else requires his attention, then yeah, I mean, that's how it works.
Yeah.
He had something come up. It feels like.
So, I don't think we can take any action on that line
No.
item until,
Yeah. Right. I mean, he's not ignoring this, I know he's busy, so.
right.
I'm gonna,
Needs to put us up on the list.
I'm gonna try and get, maybe I'll try and get to the next Parks and Rec board meeting and we can discuss it.
At least
And just
let
get some ideas for it.
available.
Yeah, like this money exists, yeah.
We've asked her a couple of times to give us some more information.
Who?
No,
She's not on the board
She's
anymore.
here.
No.
that could be why.
Was her term over? I don't know, but I know she's not on the board.
They probably don't know that exists, so it'd be a good idea, let them know. With that, it says for facilities, so I assume that if the community center wanted to upgrade something, that they would have abilities to request that as well.
Yes, would be
Yes.
appropriate for this, yeah.
Okay. How many, what recreational facilities, does that include city parks also?
We should.
So there, I don't know if you're aware that there is being a Parks and Rec department being established, right? You knew that?
I saw that
I
video.
hear rumors, but I,
Yeah.
That was contingent on the lodging tax increase too, no? No, awesome.
Yeah.
I think they kind of rearranged some things to make it.
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And Jared is gonna be king?
I don't think he's accepted the position yet, but it has been offered to him.
Any other questions about these that you want to answer? I just wanted clarification, so. All right, well, we don't have anything to vote on for that, so let's move. We're gonna skip over those two that we've done. Update on Pickett Wire Media. I did see that Lindsay is scheduled to meet with her or have a phone call or something with her.
Right, so, Pickett Wire Media, Jeff is now working in tandem with DIQ. He's writing a script, with Lindsay or her team members. They're gonna be identifying the landmarks, the locations, the tourism destinations, for the video content. So what we're getting from that, if nobody remembers, there was 50 photos in multiple sizes and aspects. There were two to 3 minute videos, like, right? I think there was two. One was supposed to be broken down, I think, into 10 shorts that we could use for social media. And then, so Jeff and Lindsay communicated about access to the B-roll after Jeff has that done. So he'll give it to DAQ so we have access to that and we can use it wherever we need to use it. And then we talked about a timeline. So he's available to start in March, but he suggested waiting until we kind of green up a little bit so that, you know, landscapes and things are a little bit more, you know, pretty. But he also said that he could start with some indoor shots in the meantime. So restaurants, museums, things like that that are indoors, he could start on that.
Fantastic. That's good to hear. Anything on that subject?
I agree with Amanda, I think this thing's been hit.
I don't know what's
It's
in
not- It's okay.
Definitely something wrong with it.
And then I'm already kind of slouched, but I'm staying slouched.
But it was working earlier.
Yeah, and every once in a while it'll work, but then it goes.
It's really.
That's all right, unplugging and replugging. That's supposed to help for everything,
The old-fashioned.
isn't it?
Did you turn it off and turn it back
We're
on?
gonna lose our.
Yeah, we'll lose our virtual
Yeah.
tenant, so we've got to do that.
All right.
I just want, as long as they can hear us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
I just like get pictures of the wall.
All right.
Kind of dusty it is in there.
Okay, so,
Just on the ticket wire meeting thing, before we move on, how are we determining the locations and spaces and content for that? And will there be board input on that?
there's always board input, so whatever you want to send or give or whatever, yes, let us know.
Okay, thank you.
Were you gonna say something else?
Yeah, I just, anytime you have something, send it to me, I'll communicate it to Lindsay. I'm just your point of contact, so flood it, I don't care. I'll get it out there.
Thanks. All right, I think we're good there.
Please confirm. Our, sorry, I'm just keeping my camera off because it slows everything down. Just to confirm, the first step, Marty's completing TicketWire to determine the shoot schedule, and then once we have that, we're gonna start identifying the location. He is actually gonna write the script, but we will review it and edit it and then suggestion. So, and then like Marty said, I also wanted to ensure that we got all his B-roll when he was done, because then we can release that for possibilities. And this is great, and it's gonna be a follow B-roll, so, we're getting stills, we're getting social media, we're getting promotion videos, we're getting B-roll, we're getting a lot for 2,500 US.
Yeah.
Great,
Awesome.
Yeah, he's great too, does a great script, so I'm sure he's gonna come out awesome.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So, but the communication's rolling, and, like Marty said, we still have a little time, because we're gonna wait until really Trinidad is really rolling and really shining.
Well, maybe we could all just, if we have any suggestions for it, we could write them down ourselves and share them in a meeting, or just get them to Marty, you, and we can go from there. I'm sure it's gonna be a lot of the same. They might guess.
2 to 3 minutes is a long time, so we can put a lot in there.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like a lot, but, you know, it's a good chunk of time.
Yeah, Lindsay, just some background on that, kind of the idea behind it is if you go on YouTube and you type in Trinidad, Colorado, what you find is not good right now. Pretty darn bad, honestly, and it's to help reflect some of that and to put a better face out there. There is one nice video, it's a thing about 6 minutes, but it's 6, 7, 8 years old, so it's just to get something more updated, picking up.
Once we start having a few videos that represent the city well and are branded for tourism, we can create a brand channel. so that whenever anybody, hits Trinidad, there's a significant place to go, and it's not just a bunch of random videos, so. But you don't want to start a channel until you have a few videos, because then people get on it and they're like, oh, we want them here, so, we're gonna wait till we have them.
Thank you.
Anything else? All right, new business, update on destination blueprint. This says Beth Wright. Was she,
I did invite her, and basically what she was gonna let you know was that she was going to be communicating with the stakeholders, in the community and getting input from them on what they want the city to be doing to represent them.
can we send her over to, Pat and have her converse with him as well? And another new one would probably be Cy Michaels and the other hoteliers in town who've had some concerns in the past.
That's great.
I think it would be great for them to touch base and see that, yes, we are
Stuff's
moving
happening.
forward, yes, we'd
Yes.
like your input, yes, please let us know how we can help you.
Okay, got it.
And then again, on when Destination IQ comes to visit, maybe we should have them visit with them as well.
Yes.
Got it?
Just so.
You're good.
I just want to make sure, I just want everything to just, let's bring it back down, let's bring it back down. We're all good, it's good. I know it's not exactly what you wanted, but it's good. It's gonna be okay. We'll find other ways we can help, Doesn't have to be just that. These guys will help out too, all the stakeholders. I don't know how many people they want to talk to, but I'm sure if they ask for a list, from Pat, he would probably have one as well.
Okay.
Destination blueprint, anything else going on with that? It's just, we're into our 100 hours, right?
Right, we are starting 100 hours. Did I share with you this destination blueprint, how it was lined out with who's taking the lead on different projects? Did I send that to you? No?
I saw, I'm getting it convoluted in my head with strategic planning.
Right,
So I'm not 100% sure. I
Okay.
don't think
If
I need to resend it, and
I'll
that's
resend
gonna
it.
be at the top of my email.
and then I'll re-invite Beth to the next meeting. So put her back on the
I'll put it
agenda.
back on it. Do we want to put, anything else on destination blueprint? All right, next is discuss local content creator. Does anybody have any suggestions? 'Cause I do.
I have somebody in mind, I'll have to talk to him, which would be Dave Curry, who's the co-owner of Tarantula. He's got a great eye for photo and video, makes a lot of reels and things, and he's out and about in town a lot, like at the art things, plugged into the music scene, and obviously the outdoor rec as well. So if he's interested, I think he would be a good candidate for that.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Ah, cool, awesome.
Finding a good on-the-ground content person is one of the hardest things, and I love, that's a great word, thank you.
Is that a compensated position or
It is, and he could use the money, so I'll talk to him about it this afternoon.
what is the compensation?
I think 10,000 for the year, but it could be spread across multiple people.
So I
I
was thinking Heather said
that's what I remember.
That's not much.
I mean, for
It's
just take
not,
ideas
it's
while you're
just-
doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
True.
It's not a dedicated job, it's just like, hey, send us your
But
content.
you know him and you trust him, so,
Yeah,
yeah, that's what counts. That's why.
Yeah, and it's not a ton of work, he doesn't have to create the reels, he doesn't have to do the strategy, he's just going out and taking photos of the footage
Just
and
speak
sharing it with the social media, who will then, do all the back end work, yes, and management.
I also wanted to suggest maybe Heather Smith. She is the HR administrator for Freedom Road. She is frequently out and about and doing things. She's posting already on her social media things around town, so I thought she would be a good one for that too.
So do we need to vote on a person or is that choosing it?
I don't know, I feel like, don't they maybe apply with you guys, Lindsay?
I'm gonna touch base with your social media team, likely early next week. And I think the management of these people, it needs to either go through me or through them.
Yes.
What I would recommend is if you have someone's contact information that you think would be interested in a good fit for this position, you can send their contact information to us and we'll reach out and say, hey, you were recommended for this role. Are you interested? Here are the details. If so, we'd love to see their current handles and see what they're doing on social media, kind of get an idea of their experience, and we'll go from there. And the payment comes through Destination IQ. We manage all of that. So there's nothing on the tour, there's no responsibility per se on the tourism board side. We manage everything.
Keeps the butt off our back.
So actually, what we're gonna send contact information to Miss Marty, and Marty will pass that along for us. I'll get that to you.
That sounds like a great.
Anything else on this topic, guys?
Sounds good. Folks.
Yay. Last item on the new business, draft organic social media posts. Are we being asked to come up with social media post ideas?
Yeah, I don't know if we need to sit here and do it right now. We could maybe keep it kind of broad, as in like, what do you know that's coming up? What would you want to spotlight from the city accounts? And then if we want to actually write any draft language or share pictures or graphics, promotional content, put it in the shared document that will be updated in the back end, shared from Destination IQ. So that's maybe the process. But basically, we want to feed the social media team as much as we can. They may or may not use everything, but whatever you know that's happening, or not necessarily events, even just things that you think they should spotlight.
For example, I'm hoping that we'll have one of our local dispensaries will have a food truck come down and visit on one day next month. Would that be something I could send along? Like, hey, come visit such and such and
Absolutely, add some content to it and a photo, and we'll get it to the team, and they can weed through whatever we send them. Updates on Central Park even, that's not an event, but it's getting close to being finished for the season, so there's that. You might see the Parks and Rec crew out, getting parks ready or something, whatever.
With that, like a piece of rehearsal at the theater or something.
There's that too.
Yeah.
I love the food truck idea. Like a really cool post would be something like more broad. Like, did you know that there are, I'm gonna just throw out a random number, 8 food trucks in Trinidad, and you can like have a reel of each food truck, and then so that entices someone even more that they know they can come and there's so many different options, right? So we can think even bigger. There's a lot of opportunity on social. Like you can really create some pretty magnificent. And now have this team that's at your disposal to do it. So I really want to take advantage of that.
Right, so a new show coming up at Main Street Live, a new curated show at the Mitchell, a new business that you happen to see that's opening up in town. Sky's the limit, I think. And we just feed it to them, and they like, okay, let's pick this one, let's do that one.
Nice. Anything else on this? So if you think anything, shoot it over. Shoot it over to Marty.
Well, and there's that link on the.
Oh, no, you want it to go.
Put it in the document.
I'm sorry.
Put it in, yeah.
But we don't have that yet. It's coming.
It's gonna.
Yes, so you just click on that link and it.
Oh, no, I'm already thinking. I know you like to post too. All right, are we good on there? Next is miscellaneous for board members. I just did have one little thing I wanted to ask, I guess, Lindsay about. and I think maybe I saw it already on the budget thing, but there's that summer 2024 paid media and social media co-op with the CTO. Just want to make sure that was on your radar and that we were thinking about whether or not that was something appropriate for us to apply for.
Yes, we're on it. Go
Okay.
ahead, Lindsay. You still there, Lindsay?
Muted.
You muted.
I am, I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
The social media co-op that we've been working on, will you update the board?
Yeah, I can give a quick background. So, this is actually one of my favorite CTO programs, is they offer a one-to-one match for social media co-op, which means, Trinidad will get a post on the Colorado Tourism social media channel. And if you can imagine, their channel gets a lot of attention and engagement. And so, we are going to do 2 summer programs, one with Facebook and one with Instagram. And they'll come down, they'll shoot the video, social media as well. And so what would normally cost us $3,000 for the Instagram reel, for example, they're charging us $1,500. We're also reserving some funds for their winter co-op program, and we'll promote the Winter Fest at that time. So we just started communication with the marketing team at CTO yesterday, and we're going to get it rolling. So it's a great program.
So maybe I missed it. I know you guys are doing the social media. Are you guys participating in the paid media as well? Seems like there's 2 different programs there.
I don't know that I heard your question totally.
There were 2 different programs that were on there. I was just wondering if you were doing both or just the social media.
Are you looking at the Trinidad budget?
No, I'm looking at OEdit.
CTO. The
Oh, okay.
website that we were on, Lindsay, there's apparently
Okay, I'm just trying,
I'm sorry.
you know what, I have some list to answer your question as best as I could, but let me pull it up and I can give it a quick review.
I'm looking.
I can find it.
I'm looking for it as well, find the name. Okay, I got the exact name.
We are doing, okay. I believe it's the social media.
It's called social media.
I understand you're looking at it to answer it accurately. Okay, we're doing I think actually we're doing the paid co-op. Let's see. Okay, thank you. Okay, now I can answer your question. We're doing the paid media co-op.
The paid
So
media.
the summer app just opened yesterday, so we're going to apply for that, and then we'll save some funding for that winter application that opens up in the fall.
Okay. Cool, thank you. Anybody else have anything under miscellaneous? What you got?
Get an update on the 420 festivals?
Yeah.
People, huh? You don't have anything? Do you know anything or
Yeah,
just
I
busy?
do, I received their application. They've provided me with a map of what's gonna take place. There's alcohol gonna be served inside, limited 2 drinks per person. And then they have concession on the outside. They've got musicians, I think they have something like 8 different musicians that are gonna be performing. They have all their sponsors lined out.
What's the hours?
Though that I don't have. I don't have the hours
Is
yet.
it gonna be just daytime though? It's very,
I'm not yet, I have no hours. I have no hours yet.
Did they contact Destination IQ?
I have to ask that too.
Because they sent, Destination IQ sent a poster. I
Oh,
sent
right.
it on to,
I got
Jack
a
and
poster.
Diane.
Jack and Diane have the mock-up.
That was
I
in the
have-
update deck as well from TIQ, that they made some adjustments on the poster.
Right, yeah, so, I sent them all the logos for all the sponsors, all the activities that are taking place that Jack sent me. So everything that they're sending me, I'm sending it to you guys.
When do we start promoting? Do we know?
As soon as we get all the information.
Lindsay, do you have any more information on that 420 festival?
Hello?
I believe right now we have the details of where everyone is taking the events that are happening. We have all of the logos, the posters. The poster will be done pretty soon. We're gonna include the 420 in our radio ad for March. We can also, I think that this event warrants a more that marketing plan. I'd like to make sure we get the information to the CTO PR team, and maybe worth writing a press release, and distributing it to some regional papers. And then we can also include it in our paid advertising. I don't know the rules about, I take that back. I don't know the rules about marketing marijuana events on Meta. We might run into it through there. I know that, I have a winery.
I know that
I have
Meta
a
doesn't
winery
like, Meta doesn't like pictures of cannabis or cannabis products. They do allow those things to go onto Instagram, but not Facebook.
So I'll have to touch base with my Meta ads manager and get his feedback on that.
But my concern
But
is,
that would be a good place to promote it. You'll get attention for sure.
yeah, but Lindsay, my
So
concern is,
Go
I'm
ahead,
sorry.
Chris.
I'm
What's
sorry,
that?
my concern is the people that have taken it over and cleaned it, if they don't do it right, and they don't seem to be asking the right questions, you know, it could wind up being a flop, and this is the last time we get a chance to do it. And, we're not getting a lot of information from them, but it needs to be promoted correctly. And-
Right, as soon
and-
as they have the information solid, then we'll start our marketing.
Right. You feel comfortable with it yourself, though?
What do you mean?
With how it's happening.
This is coming up, this is, you know,
No,
6
right,
weeks away.
right,
So-
and they've got their, I mean, it's in process, it's in progress. I'll touch base with Jack and Diane again today and see what's going on.
I just hate to see it, you know, you got one shot at it, and if you don't,
Well-
we're not gonna go do it again. And it bothers me that your group isn't involved.
Well, I'm not involved, but so Jack and Diane work with Native Roots in Grand Junction on a project. So they are familiar with Liz Kowski. And Liz is using communications with them about especially like legal details and little things. Like she just sent an email the other day saying that they have an event in Denver where you're not supposed to consume. They don't advertise it as a consumption event, but when you pass that event on the day, it's a cloud of smoke over Denver. So she was asking them to get with the people that run that or the people of security in that area to find out what it is exactly they're doing to make sure that nobody's getting in trouble for consuming in public.
Well, they should have meetings with,
So we're doing,
they should have meetings with the sheriff's department.
They are,
You know,
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
they are. We had that meeting, they got everything in order.
Yeah, well, it's just, maybe we're not.
I think it scared us when she showed up and was like, I don't know what's
Yeah,
going on.
and I thought from what Steve had said originally, the city was gonna be involved with it. And, well, he did say it originally, and I guess it's backed off. But we haven't committed any funds to help except for what,
I don't think,
DIQ
we
is
don't,
doing.
they don't, apparently don't need it.
Because they got sponsors,
They have sponsors.
which is great.
Yeah.
Our goal is to get these events to be
Yeah,
self-sufficient.
I agree. But
Right.
it-
We will market it, and that's our job. We will market it as soon as we have all the marketing
It
materials.
doesn't really look good, and I don't think they need it. I think they should be able to get plenty of sponsors.
Yeah, oh yeah, this is a big deal. Okay, that's all I want to know.
Any other miscellaneous, what you got going on?
Oh, I got stuff going on with,
Jason, do you have anything?
I do not.
Oh, look, Beth Wright's here. Beth, are you there?
I am. Hi.
Hi. Okay. We kind of skipped over you because I didn't know if you were going to be here or not. Can we back up?
Yeah, go for it. What is our update?
Sorry,
on
miss.
Destination Blueprint?
I missed that last little bit. What was that again?
You can go ahead and give us an update on Destination Blueprint.
That's okay.
You got the floor.
All right, great. It doesn't look like I'm able to share my screen, but I can send this out to the group right after just so you have a visual of what I'll kind of share today. But as you've probably heard from Marty and Lindsay, we have started the technical assistance. So this is the phase of the year-long program where it's 100 hours of my time to support advancing some of the projects that came out of the workshop that we did in early December. And so the main focus that we're using the technical assistance for is really to support industry communications and supporting businesses take advantage and know about all the different things the city can do to support them in promotion and marketing and visitor communications. So I'm really excited about this. I think it's a great focus given the concerns and challenges that we heard during the workshop, but also what we saw from the assessment. So there's essentially going to be 4 big deliverables that I'll be providing. The first one really being the creation of a promotion checklist for tourism businesses and organizations that's also related to a digital intake form so that everyone's able to know what are the different services the city can provide for a tourism business or organization, and there's a seamless form for them to fill out to be able to ask for assistance in different ways. Lindsay and Marty and I have already met, and so this is really going to be a crown part of what we're doing. So I have a good understanding, I think, from the city's perspective of what services are available, how things have been going in the past, and some ways we can kind of digitize and really streamline this process. We've also been talking through the different ways we can ensure we're educating tourism businesses and organizations about the different assets they hopefully could have ready to make it even easier to support them in their promotion. So making sure they have a Google My Business link, photo assets, things like that. So we've got a nice list going. So this is very much in the works right now, which is great. So we have a very good understanding from the city side of what I think we can provide. Simultaneously, to make sure we're building this out, it's going to be really useful for everybody. I'm going to be organizing a couple of focus groups and conducting some targeted interviews with folks from the tourism industry in Trinidad. So I think we decided at least the focus group for lodging, accommodation businesses, as well as for retail and potentially one for restaurants. And that way I can really share our ideas about what we're putting together and hear if this is useful and ways we can kind of be ensuring they're getting their needs met within what's really in the capacity of the city at this time for tourism promotion support and things like that. So that'll be coming up pretty soon. After this, we wanted to make sure you guys were in the know and I could talk to you about this first. And then we're going to share this out and organize these focus groups and interviews. And that way, as we're kind of developing these great tools and resources, we're making sure it's really in check with what everybody needs and what kind of moving forward. So that's a really big one that we're super excited about. The other areas that are going to be supplemental to this and helpful is another piece that we learned was the need for more consistent and kind of transparent communications across the industry. So we are developing an industry newsletter. So I'll be creating a template and an easy to follow process for how to populate that. This will be supported by the CTO. They regularly have really interesting data about visitation, volume, and other data points that they can and will be regularly sharing with the city of Trinidad. So we'll be able to pull all that together into the Tuesday newsletter. We can also have it be a place for highlights within the community about industry successes and new campaigns that are happening, things like that. So I'll put together the process for a template and how this can be regularly created. And we think it's best to probably start off as like a quarterly. Let's keep it really manageable, and if that feels too much, maybe like twice a year, we'll kind of see how it goes. But I will also create the content and work with Marty and others if you're interested to do this for spring. So we'll be able to have a first newsletter full of content and share that, and then also that template process for the city to be able to continue. The third area that we're going to also support is helping, we're going to coordinate with Destination IQ to create a social media toolkit and guidance for the upcoming marketing campaign, the Lazy Crazy Days of Summer. So this will kind of be seeing, this is a city campaign, but we're going to create some guidance and some resources where businesses can further promote this, so they can further leverage this campaign and use it to kind of bolster what they're doing as well. And then the final area for technical assistance, we'll be working with Marty and her team to be able to launch a photo contest. So we're actually going to digitize all of the forms from previous contests and streamline that process a bit and launch a photo contest so that we can get more visual access or recognize this is a need to have some authentic, more human-centered visuals. We have a good bit of nature visuals, which is really nice, but wanting to make sure we're really capturing all the lovely people that are in Trinidad. So we're going to digitize that process a little bit and help to launch it. And those are the 4 main areas for our technical assistance. So they're all kind of at different stages at the moment, because I'm sure you know they're related to the website and other things. So happy to answer any questions for clarification or if you have some additional ideas. We're really excited about this. I think it's really going to address some of the things that we certainly learned during the workshop.
Any questions?
Very good. Sounds good.
Great. Awesome.
My only question was on the newsletter front. So it sounds like you guys will put together the template, then does it fall to city staff to actually push that out regularly?
Yeah, so we'll be able to have a template, and as far as the content population process, or what I'm calling it, how do we get enough content to be able to push this out regularly and not be a pain? We're going to get this really streamlined so that it's really the CTO will share their data that comes through that's really interesting, and that'll kind of take up some segment of their of the newsletter. I don't know if any of you follow their big newsletter, their Tourism Tuesdays, but they usually have the data sections. We would do that a little more similar to that, but just for the area. So a lot of data might be at Los Angeles County, some things might be closer to Trinidad, let's see what they've got. And then there'll be a segment that I think will be the city's responsibility, perhaps even other volunteers that want to share like what's new and what's the news related to tourism, what do industry partners need to know about, a segment about that, and then any kind of opportunity for them to communicate back. I think one thing we recognize is we want to more consistently share information out to industry, but also have an opportunity for folks to give feedback in kind of a cyclical fashion so that we can be addressing things a little bit more. And that's why we thought we would do it on a quarterly basis to start. I think a monthly newsletter would be too aggressive, but a quarterly also feels too intense. We could scale it back to be twice a year. Kind of depends on capacity and how everyone's feeling.
Cool, thank you.
Sure.
Any questions? Thank you for your time. We appreciate that.
Yeah, sure thing. And I'd love to say as we're going out to do these focus groups, if any of you represent these key areas that I wanted to chat with folks, I hope you'll join in. And maybe also chat with folks and encourage them to join too. These would be really candid conversations with me to really make sure what we're developing is useful for everybody.
And when will those start, Beth, those conversations?
hopefully in the next couple of weeks. I think Marty and I talked about like early next week kind of sharing with everybody, this is where we're at in the stage and these are the opportunities coming out. So we would schedule those to happen in March. My guess is one mid-March and then probably the last week as well, which should be good.
Okay, Beth, this is Bonnie again. So, I think we talked about sharing contact lists. Those individuals that attended the destination blueprint meeting, others that didn't attend but had signed up, lodging tax board, chamber of commerce, people like that. I hadn't received anything yet, and I was wondering if you had sent that yet.
I thought I sent it, but let me double check. It might be unfortunately sitting in my outbox, but I will resend that. It was the contact list that was the same from when we shared out the deck at the beginning. And I'll look for that other one where people from our core team were kind of adding in names as well, because that might fill in some of the gaps. So let me double check on that and I'll send that to you today so that you can make sure you got it. And you did.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else for Beth?
All right, so any other miscellaneous?
Thank you, Beth.
Thanks, Beth.
Beth?
Thanks so much.
So let's do discussion of the agenda. I just think maybe we ought to put the budget line item discussion in there.
Already got it.
All right, request each of
We'll just
these.
keep it on there until,
Does Jeff
Can we get it?
need to come back?
Discuss.
No, not the next one. I think maybe in about a month when we start getting some things rolling, we can do an update.
I'll keep updates from Vista Works on here. The budget line item discussion, let's put in a formal request and see if you can make it come back. See us next time. Anything else that you want to add to the agenda at this time? Otherwise, send it to me, we'll get it on there. I'm sure we'll have more than just those two items by the time.
yeah, it seems like.
Yes.
Confirm our meetings are now Thursdays at 11.
Thursdays, yes, so the next one will be on the 14th of March at 11 a.m.
And then the 28th, so it's the,
At 14th, it's the
Second and
second
fourth.
and fourth.
Correct.
okay, that's what I have.
I just put this on here, we may have not used, but update on that city council position, I think it ties into everything we're trying to do, so, just keep us posted on how that develops.
Like,
The city communications
coordinator. I thought he said city council, but I just.
Comms.
Cool.
All right, anything else?
I would motion to adjourn.
I guess.
Oh, wait, Jason.
Oh, what you got, what you got?
Last year, we were talking about, Steve, about the city, hosting a music festival, kind of something to replace-ish Blues Fest. Haven't heard anything about that. That's gonna happen. Should probably get going yesterday, so maybe we just put it on the agenda to talk about and see if this has gotten movement behind it, or if,
Yeah, I
So
think,
just a quick update on that, Jason, there was $10,000 that was going to be expended on that particular project. And that $10,000 was given to the Chamber of Commerce for their homegrown music.
no, this is different.
yeah, this is,
That was the music festival that was gonna happen in the fall, turned into homegrown. However, I know Steve has talked about having a city, owned and managed summer music festival event.
this is another Steve.
It's like the first, second, third meeting.
Yeah.
So,
Rarely.
something to fill,
Briefly mentioned.
the gap of Blues Fest, as Jason mentioned. I have seen a lot of chatter around this on the web as well. People are interested in picking up that ball and running with it. So whether the city owns it or someone else manages it and gets some funding from us, I think this is something that can and needs to happen.
Needs to happen.
So, yeah, I think that's a good thing to throw on there, Jason. We can start just chatting about it. And however that shakes out, I think that the board should support it.
Well, I understood that either Steve or us was also, requested by the council to do some city events like the festivals.
and to move forward. That came out of Steve's mouth once too. We really need him to sit
You
here.
know, it was also put out there that they might take over Santa Fe Trails.
There has been some conversation on that. We started looking for a carnival, some type of, that type of entertainment.
Right.
We reached out to the carny people that had done Santa Fe Trail days previously. And apparently that was held at the fairgrounds, and there was bad blood at the end of that, and so they won't come back. They now host their carnival in Raton. And even though we explained to them that that was a county boo-boo, the city didn't have anything to do with it, they said they won't come back. However,
There are a lot of them out there though.
well, yeah, there are a lot of them, so we are looking at some other options. And there's also a website that I found, it's called Outdoor Air, that brings a lot of, not necessarily carnival type rides, but inflatables and, slides, and just look at Outdoor Air Colorado. It's awesome. So I sent that to Audra, so she can take a look at that, council can take a look at that.
Do you know the name of the company that won't come back? Is it Thomas?
Is it who?
Thomas? The Thomas Carnival?
No.
Okay.
I think it's Sun. Can't remember.
That's the one that used to do one in Delaware.
Yes.
I don't know if they come out this week.
So we reached out to several. They're already booked for the year. I don't know what those names are, but there's several of them that, and we're kind of really late to the game on this one, so I don't know if we're gonna be able to get an actual carnival ride type thing, but outdoor air would definitely be able to fill that gap. It's called Outdoor Air Colorado.
Did we already adjourn?
No.
That's right, we pulled Jason quick.
You got anything else, Jason?
Nope.
So I wanted to put a music festival and also Santa Fe Trail Days on the agenda. Just to keep them front of minds, because you guys are totally right. Those things can get started to be planned sooner rather than later.
Anything else? Nope, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank
Thank
you.
you all.
Thanks, guys.
Good job.